Hey everyone. Okay, so week 2 post-op tummy tuck. I did not really take notes. So I'm trying to remember. I'm just into week 3, so my 2-week was yesterday, technically. Like the end of my second week. I'm feeling a lot better. I returned to work yesterday, so that was on like literally the second week. Like surgery was on Tuesday the 13th, and I returned to work yesterday, Tuesday the 27th. So I work an office job and I work remotely, so that it works out. I mean, I can sit here with my laptop and be able to, function. I can say it was kind of difficult yesterday. I was really tireder than I thought I would be, just because I couldn't take a nap or close my eyes or lay down or something like that, like I had been doing, because I had still been sleeping a lot throughout the weeks, throughout the days, I should say. But I mean, I got through it, and then it's fine. I'm back to work, which actually is good, because I was getting really bored. Just saying, the first week you don't even notice, like I mentioned in my first video, because you're just sleeping and you're exhausted and you don't care. You just want to get through the week. But the second week you start feeling a little bit better and you just kind of want to do something. So it sucks when you can't. So it's good that I went back to work. I'm still on the couch. I'm really tired of being on the couch, but I still have to stay reclined, and I just can't. I don't have anywhere else to do that. In my bed, you can sleep in a bed technically, but my bed's on the floor. We don't have a frame, which is what. So my husband's disabled, and that's actually what helps him sleep get in and out of bed best, is not having a raised bed. But for me, recovering from a tummy tuck, getting down probably wouldn't be difficult, but pulling myself up from literally the floor would be next to impossible. It's hard enough pulling myself up from the couch. That's getting easier. Second week, that was easier. I was doing that the first week too. I was moving around, just like I said, but second week it gets easier. You can start moving a little bit better. I was able to start standing up a little bit straighter. Not fully. I'm still very much hunched, but a lot better than it was the first week. Still wearing this garment, unfortunately. Not that I'm opposed to the garment. Like I said, it's like my security blanket. I feel really good in it. It's just, I wish I could put a bra on and that my chest wasn't just in here, because it's just starting to get uncomfortable. Nothing to do with my tummy at all. It's just kind of hurting my chest. So I'm ready to switch to a different one, which I did order. This one's getting to be a little bit too big because the swelling's going down. So it's time to size down to a different one, and I got a slightly different style. So it actually goes under breasts, which is nice. So they're bikini style, but it does have the straps, just so it does stay up and doesn't roll down and crease on your stomach. So that garment's coming soon. Cannot wait, because then I can just wear a normal loose bra, and I feel like I'll feel a lot better, because they're just starting to hurt. Completely unrelated, but still a side effect of, my experience recovering. What else happened? During week 2, I got all of the tape removed from my abdomen. I had still been completely taped up all through week 1, and actually most of the way through week 2. It just came off yesterday, which was the end of week 2. That's a lie, Monday, I'm sorry. But still, end of week 2. I got all of the tape off. It was the first time I saw my tummy, and that was kind of terrifying. It was good though. It looks good, in my opinion. It's still very much healing, and it's very swollen. But, the actual loose skin, which was the reason that I had the tummy tuck, is gone, and you can obviously see that. So that was exciting. I also had the tube removed on Monday as well, the drain tube. That was amazing. That's the best part about it. I was so tired of the drain tube. It was terrible. It was uncomfortable after a while, and just every time I moved, it started pinching, and it didn't happen at first. It was like during the end of the second week when I started noticing it all the time. So I was really, really, really ready for that to come out. It didn't hurt coming out. I was terrified of the tape and the drain tube coming out and off. But it didn't. The drain tube felt very, very weird because they do just pull it out. Felt very uncomfortable, but it did not hurt. The tape, it didn't hurt at all. I was terrified of that. Had been talking about it for like a week. And I'm so numb. Like the whole abdomen area is numb. Like I can feel that I'm like pressing, so I can feel the pressure, but I can't, like if I was to take this garment off, like I can't feel my hand touching myself, like the skin. It's weird. I don't know how to describe it, because like I know that my hand's there, but like my stomach doesn't, the abdomen doesn't feel anything. So when the tape came off, I didn't really feel it. Also, sorry for my hair, you know, I've been reclining here, so it's frizzy. I'm not gonna get up and do anything about it. But yeah, so it did not hurt when the tape came off, by any means. Kind of tickled a little bit on the sides, because I still have feeling on the sides, and I'm very, very ticklish. So that was uncomfy. But yeah, it did not hurt, so that was great. I also received my surgeon's incision/scar treatment. So you're not really supposed to use anything on your scars, and well, first off, until they form. And I don't have scars yet. I still have incisions. So you wouldn't want to use like Scar Guard or anything like that, or like any type of cream, because you want the incision to heal first. But my surgeon has like a scar. Nope, that's incision's the word I'm looking for. So I'm trying to look for it, see if it was still on this table so I could show y'all. Here we go. Potentially, if I can reach it. Okay, yep, sitting up, still don't recommend. Not engage your abdomen muscles. It burns. It just did that. Anyway, so this is what he uses. And it's backwards. Sorry. I don't know how to switch that. But it's Professional Previscar Brush On Nano Film, the ultimate scar inhibitor. It was not cheap. But you're supposed to use this even like right away, like even on the incision, and it helps heal it and helps make it less raised as it's forming the scar. And you're supposed to use it for up to 3 months, and then once it's like actually scar, you move on from this, and you can just like use normal scar cream from the store, like from Rite Aid or Walgreens, which I probably will, because that's super expensive. But I'm, you know, and I might not even need it. Totally might not even need it. Of course the surgeon's gonna recommend, you know what, I mean, I'm sure he believes in it, but of course he's also trying to make money. So obviously he's going to try and sell that to me. I bought it because I paid enough for the surgery anyway. I might as well get anything he recommends and use it. I mean, that's kind of the point. I want the best results. So I started using that on Monday as well. So that was at the end of week 2. Oh, what else? Okay, so I had a little bit of a hiccup with the healing, because Saturday morning, so this past Saturday morning, it was like 2 a.m. I hadn't slept yet. For some reason, I just couldn't sleep. Had nothing to do with pain or anything. I just couldn't sleep, which is weird because I've been sleeping a lot. So finally, I was just like, okay, I need to turn everything off, you know, take my glasses off, put my earplugs in, and just try to sleep. And so I like laid back, put my hand like down here, just cause, and I felt like stickiness and wetness. I'm like, what the heck? Like I must have spilt my water. So I turn the flashlight on my phone and I bring my hand up, and it's covered in blood. So I was like, oh, well, you know, that's not right. Something must be wrong. So in my delirium, because I was tired and had already taken, you know, my pills and just a bunch of, not thinking straightly, probably because also bleeding, I got up, I took my garment down, and I had still had the tape on at that point, and there was just blood like everywhere. It was like super, super wet. So it had been bleeding for probably a little bit, which I hadn't felt because I'm completely numb down there. I can't feel anything, so I didn't even feel the dripping. It wasn't until I put my hand there that I felt it. So I started cutting away at the bandage as much as I could, because I didn't want to remove it fully, because it was supposed to remain there, but I needed to get the wetness, like, of the tape away. So I cut it away and stuff, and my belly button, it did not look good. It was bleeding. There was a bunch of pus. There was everything. It was disgusting. I was black. And so in my head, I was like, okay, they warn you about skin necrosis, especially in the belly button. Just because you have skin necrosis doesn't mean that it can't heal. So my first thought was, okay, that's what's happening. Because I mean, it, that's kind of what it looked like. Not that I know what it looks like, but in my head, that's what it looked like. But it's a Saturday, couldn't really do anything. I mean, I could have went to an urgent care or like ER, but like, they're not plastic surgeons. They're not really going to know what to do with it. My appointment was Monday morning at 8 a.m. and this happened Saturday at like 2 a.m. So I just had to make it through Saturday and Sunday. So I was like, well, if I can stop the bleeding and stuff, like, I performed open wound care on it. Like, that's something I know how to do. So I was like, let me go ahead and do that, get it stopped. Nothing can happen on the weekend. Like, I can't go see the plastic surgeon and all the ER is going to do is make it stop bleeding. They're not going to know anything about my surgery or anything about the belly button or anything like that. So I was like, if it gets worse, of course I would go in. If I couldn't get it to stop bleeding or it got worse, like, that's something completely different from the plastic surgery. Of course, I would go into, a professional, like an urgent care, and have it taken care of. But I did manage to get the bleeding stopped, and it cleaned up and everything, and I put gauze over it, and I, put my garment back on, and I went to sleep. Probably around 4 or 5 a.m. Maybe a little bit, no, it was more like 5 a.m. Fell asleep for a few hours, woke up, and I was like, I should probably look at it again. I should probably have my husband look at it, because I dealt with it myself that morning. I didn't go wake him up. I have no idea why I didn't. Normally I would. It's not like he had work or anything. I just was, like I said, probably delirious. So I had him look at it, and he was like, yeah, this doesn't look good. I'm like, nope, yep, I'm well aware. So then he cleaned it for me, and he went a little rougher. I was being a little careful Saturday morning because, you're nervous to do anything. So he has a lot of experience caring for, he's had a lot of surgeries. Not elective like mine, as have been needed. But he's had a lot of incisions, a lot of surgeries, a lot of having to care for them. So he was like, I'm going to, go in and actually clean it. And after he cleaned it, it looked a lot better. Not great, but it looked better than even when I had done it. So I was like, okay, I'm less nervous. Like, again, nothing I can do on a Saturday. So we cleaned it one more time Saturday. So it had been cleaned 3 times. When I found it around noon, 2 p.m. and then again right before bed that night. And then we did the same thing on Sunday. And it was getting better. Like, each single time we looked at it, it was slightly better. When I say better, it doesn't look good, but better. And then Monday morning rolled around, and I had my appointment, and, my surgeon saw it, and I showed him the pictures first, and even he said, okay, it looks like you probably have some skin necrosis. We'll, take your garment off. We'll deal with it. And then when I took my garment off, he was just like, oh. He goes, no, none at all. There was no blackness left. He was like, you popped 2 stitches. It was just bleeding, and the belly button opened back up. So when they make your belly button, like, they form it for you, and then they stitch it up because it's supposed to be nice and, relatively small. And so when I popped the 2 stitches, it, opened back up, and then obviously started bleeding, and, got crusties in it and just a bunch of everything. So he was like, you're doing everything right. Nothing you can do for it. It's not infected, so that was good. I didn't need antibiotics. He didn't do anything. There was no need to restitch it. He was like, just keep cleaning it. And then, putting gauze on it. But don't over clean it, because, it heals with, like, what I thought was pus was not. It's fluid, but it's from your body, and it actually helps heal it. So he's like, wash it out, but don't, like, scrape at it. Let it do its thing. And he was like, it'll start constricting again. So it'll start, like, closing up again, so it won't be as large of a belly button. He's like, you don't have anything to worry about. And it looks way better today. I mean, it's still big and it still doesn't look good. Let me keep rephrasing that. But it looks way better. Way better than it did 4 days ago, because this only happened, Saturday morning, and it's only Wednesday. So that was the biggest little hiccup I've had in my entire journey so far, which, boo, everyone has to have something, right? So that was mine, my belly button. I will post pictures of it at the end of this video. I think I don't want to freak anyone out because I'm positive it's going to heal. I'm not concerned about it. It has gotten a lot better, but it doesn't look good even still. So I don't want to freak anyone out to post it and have them be concerned about it. I still think I'm going to, because I want you to be able to, it happened in week 2 and I'm already into week 3. So anything that happens this week, even with the healing process, will be the healing in week 3, which will be posted next week. So I do believe I'm going to include the photos of the belly button from like day 1 to yesterday, which was when it started looking better. And then, you know, as I heal, of course, I'll post updates. But anyway, I'm pretty sure those will be at the end unless I change my mind. If I change my mind, I'll put a little snippet and then say they'll be included next week. I'm not sure. As far as the swelling, there's still quite a bit of swelling. A lot less than there was, but it comes and goes. It depends on the day. It depends on how much I do, like activity-wise, you know, how I slept the night before. Sometimes if I don't sleep fully with like my legs up enough, like I wake up more swollen because the blood's not like flowing downwards. But I was really swollen yesterday, but that was because it was my first day back to work. I actually went into the office for 2 hours for a meeting, which was a lot for me, the first time I've done anything like that. And then I came home and worked the rest of the day and no napping and stuff like that. So yesterday I was really swollen because it was a really long day per se, after, you know, as I was healing, like since the surgery. Today I'm a lot less swollen. So that's good. Well, I would say yesterday. We're not going to talk about today. It's hard not to, but we're into week 3. I have to remember that. I am a lot less swollen though, so. But Monday I was even a lot less swollen because I hadn't done anything strenuous. And then Tuesday it swelled back up quite a bit because, like I said, I, you know, went out and did stuff. Other than that, I'm not taking any pills anymore. I mean, I take ibuprofen for the swelling, but I don't have any, like, I'm not taking any pain meds. I'm not on antibiotics anymore. I'm not taking anything else. So that's good. All the pills are gone. I was prescribed nausea medication too, which I think I mentioned in my first video. I can't remember. But I haven't used them. I've taken like one or two, and that was in week 1. I haven't taken any in week 2. I haven't used them. Even in week 1, I don't 100% know if I needed them. It might have just been like part of the healing with the nerves, and in my head I was just like, this might be nausea, so let's take the nausea pills to like make sure it doesn't get bad. But yeah, that's about it. I haven't taken any more. I haven't been nauseous. I haven't used ice. I think I mentioned that last week as well. I still haven't used ice. I'm not burning the way that they say you will, so I haven't used any. It is starting to itch though. Once the tape came off, my incision really, not itch, my incision really burns, but you're not supposed to use the ice on your incision. You're supposed to use the ice like on the lipo here, which does not burn, so that's why I haven't done it. But my incision is starting to kind of burn. Again, I think it's just because the tape is off. It's doing more healing, and so that also means that the compression garment is like resting against it. So I mean, natural. It doesn't look bad. It doesn't look like it's doing anything like hurting it. It's just it burns more than it did because it had a protective layer over it, and it was at the beginning when it wasn't really starting to like, you know, heal yet. And, you know, healing process for anything, anytime tattoos, you know, any wound that you have, it burns and itches. So I'm used to that. But that is something that started in week 2, is the burning of like the incision. It's not unbearable. It's uncomfy. It's not unbearable. Showering is a little bit easier too. I mean, it wasn't really difficult for me before. I mentioned that last week, but it is a little bit easier in week 2 just because I can get around even better. Anything else? Sorry, I know I keep moving this camera up and down and it's terrible quality, and I said this last week. It's not going to change. I'm never going to be, you know, a YouTuber, so I don't have a camera and I don't plan to get one. I'm just going to do my tummy tuck journey and go from there, and hopefully it helps somebody. But this is the best you get. I apologize, but what else? Was there anything else? I do have my puppy now. He's able to like stay up here with me, and he loves it. He's like I have an ottoman here, so he's able to actually like get up here and be a lot closer to me, and I'm less nervous. And he was so excited when he could start doing that. Like, I mean, I know I showed some pictures last week of him next to me, and that was like really, really controlled, because it was, you know, nerve-wracking that he would like get on me. Now it's, I mean, I'm still not letting him on me, but I'm less nervous, so like he can be up here without me like, you know, holding him over there, because if he does put a paw over, I mean, it doesn't hurt, and like it's not as bad as it would have been the first week, and then I know to push him back over. But yeah, so I get my puppy back. He's super excited about that. Anything else? I can start driving next week. I don't know if I'm going to. I mean, I will to work and stuff, but I just mean like I usually drive to see family every weekend. They live about 50 minutes away, 45 to 50 minutes away, and I usually go every weekend. It's not that far. I live in the city, and you know, they live back home, and friends are down that way, so I usually drive a lot every weekend. Sometimes after work, you know, on the weekdays I'm usually going back home, and then anyway, that's still probably going to be a while until I do that again. Like a couple weeks is what I mean, like 2 to 3 weeks, because I can't imagine sitting in the car, driving in the car for 45 minutes. I feel like that's a little too much so far, but if I need to go into the office, I mean, I only live like 7 minutes away from the office, so that I can do. So I can start doing that next week. I could probably do that now, to be completely honest, because it's mainly just like if you're on hard medication, but I can't sit upright yet. So I don't think that's probably smart, so I'm not, you know, going to drive yet. I'll probably do that next week if needed. But other than that, yeah, no, I've been feeling fine. That's about it. Nothing really happened in week 2, except for what I talked about, but nothing crazy, no intense pain, anything like that. The worst pain I've had in a while was yesterday, and like I said, that was just because I overexerted myself. Oh, and I also started my period, so, you know, there's that. So it could be a multitude of things. Returning to work, that, it just, yeah. One little perk, though, gotta say, as a female, if you get cramps, which I do, I haven't had any, and I'm thinking it's because it's completely numb, that I can't feel them, so I will take that right now. But it could be something else. I know nothing about medicine. It's not like I'm going to ask my surgeon. It has nothing to do with my tummy tuck. But, yeah, no cramps. I'm going to call it a win right now, because I just can't imagine having cramps on top of recovering from a tummy tuck. But, yeah, so there's that. But, yeah, no, week 2 was pretty chill. It was kind of like the recovery week. I know this is all recovery, but to me, like, the recovery week from week 1. And yeah, I'm feeling better. We'll see how week 3 works, because I feel like it's going to be a lot of more of true healing, like healing the outside now, like the incision, like the belly button that I'm dealing with, and just a bunch of stuff like that. But anyway, okay, if I think of anything else, because I feel like I'm forgetting stuff, I might stitch a second part to this before I post it, if I think of anything. If not, you know, stay tuned for pictures inserted here of, you know, what I look like now compared to last week, like what the tummy looks like, potentially the belly button, and I'll see you next week. Okay, photo time. Here is just some photos from week 2, just of like how the swelling has went down if you compare them to week 1. This is me actually completely out of my garment. I was having it washed. This is the first time I went to work just for a meeting, and like the swelling is so much down. Like, I'm super excited. It's definitely still there, but like it looks really good so far for being just week 2. And then just some of me still chilling on the couch, because that is where I am at still. Okay, so I only put this warning in because the next ones are going to be my actual tummy. I don't have clothes on. I am covered. You're not going to see bits, obviously, but like technically it is my body. I also included the photos of my belly button, so fair warning on those ones. truly. So yeah, this is week 2, front, side view. It looks so good swelling wise. Okay, now belly button. Yeah, like I said, warning here, but you can see it's improved a lot. I mean, a lot. So day 1, that was when I woke up and found it. Can you see? Can you see? I don't really understand why I didn't panic more. I'm gonna blame it on delirium. Day 2 was literally just my husband and I cleaning it. Day 3 was when I made it to the doctor's after he cleaned it. And you can see there is a clear difference. The black is gone. He cleared the gunk out. And you can see where I popped the stitches. And then, to day 5, it's like a whole different belly button. So it is healing. I am already well into past week 2. And it's still healing, but it looks good, better. But yes, this is what happens when you pop both your stitches, apparently. But the doctor said it's nothing to be concerned about, and it will heal correctly. So I will give updates on that.